got her.
Well guys, I'm working on the log cabin down here. Figured I'd give you guys a sneak peek on what I'm doing here. Pretty simple, just back the truck in here where I cleared them trees so that I can, then I just kind of pull the logs off the truck with this tailgate down here. When the tailgate's down, you kind of just slide them off and set them up there, so that way you can slide them up on top easily. And then I'm gonna roll this log right here down, basically roll it down the center log, pull it over a little bit, and this is going to be on the back side. It's a pretty thick log. If I had to guess, I would say that one's around like 14 inches maybe, give or take, you know, 15 or 13, something like that. The one on the back side back there is probably close to 15 or 16. It's pretty thick. So I want to use the thicker logs on the back side of the cabin. That's probably the last real big one that I have. The rest of them are all around, maybe like, this one's probably about 7 inches on this end, but on that other end it's about 8 or 9, probably maybe even 10. So anyway, I'm just working on this here. I'm also gonna roll it into place, and then I'm gonna cut the notches. So I'll let you guys watch the process, see if I can get a good video on it. We'll see. Oh, yeah. This thing's pretty tall. Got one of these YouTube gizmos. My sister got it for me. You know, a YouTube gizmo. But probably give us a good angle to watch. We're probably fully zoomed, I would think. Right there. Yeah, maybe back a little bit. Alright, so I'll let you guys see how I'm moving these logs. I would say these logs are at least, I mean, they're at least probably 200, 300 pounds a piece, but I'm guessing they're more than that. Some of them might have even been like 500 or 600. Alright guys, so that log's down there now. I'm going to move the camera down there because I'm going to start cutting the notches now once I get the the log down there, I generally cut the notches. You can see it just kind of rolls down. Sometimes they do fall off, like you saw that middle log fall. It was a little bit in the way, and that one's a lighter log, so it's okay. It's pretty easy for me to pick up. But we'll see where this thing is at right now. Pretty good angle. I'm gonna start cutting the corners here, and that's why I get this log. I put this log up here so that way I can figure out how big the notch needs to be on these corners, just based on the width of the next log that I'm going to put on there. It would possibly be better to turn it and use this end on that other end, but looking at it, I'm just thinking on whether I need to do that or not. I kind of don't think I do. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's necessary. And another thing to keep in mind is I don't have these corners nailed down yet. I did put linseed oil on them, but I don't have them nailed down yet because I need to cut the notch first before I nail them. So. Alright. Let's see if we get this saw going. so you guys can kind of see how I'm custom cutting the notch here, and why I was talking about that I don't pre-cut all the notches. You kind of got to fit them to the log a little bit, and it depends on the corner. So just figured to give you guys an idea here. You're going to have a lot of this wood shavings, which, you know, that stuff's good for a lot of things, but in this case, getting it all set here. It looks pretty thick in the center still, and it's in, so that'll be good. And then basically what's going to happen, I'm going to cut the top too, but I'm going to go down to the other end and do the other notch on that corner down there. Probably, let's see it. And this notch, because it's thinner, the thinner end, is going to be a wider notch. That one had the thicker end, so it had a sharper notch. This one's going to have a wider notch. So, just a tip. just looking at the ends here, guys. Set this a little bit that way for now. These aren't nailed in yet, so part of it is kind of figuring out how you want them set. Because they're not nailed in yet, so part of it is really figuring out how you want the logs to sit. Seems a lot better. Alright, so we got that corner kind of where we want it a little bit, and depending on how the next notch goes, I might even make this a little thinner. It just depends on how the log fits once I do the top cut, the cut that's going to roll in here. Looking at the log, it's kind of hard to decide sometimes because they got a little turn in them, how you want them to lay. Which I think that actually the side it's on there is probably the perfect if I just cut the notch just like that. And these logs are all fairly particular, so you want to make sure you kind of got to move them, you know, where the ends are good. And when I say where the ends are good, you kind of want to think where it's going to stick out to, and look at both sides and try to make sure they're fairly even. And they're not all going to be perfect, but you can even them out when you're done. Just kind of go down them and cut off the ends how they should be. This is going to be a sharp notch, so we'll go with that. Might even be a little too sharp. And I might have to cut this bottom part off a little bit just to make sure it matches a little better. We'll see how that falls into place. But I'm going to do the other side, the other notch on the other side right here. Now that I got that one cut and I have an idea on where it's at, I'm going to do the other corner here. So we're going to roll it into place now, guys. We'll see how they fit, and then we'll fit them accordingly. So you're kind of getting an idea. You're kind of getting an idea on why I custom cut the corner notches. Probably because you can see try to get as much of that out of there as you can. But it ain't all going to be perfect. And then I'm going to roll it into place, see if it fits. Seems to fit. Actually fits decent. This corner here is a little high. So usually what you do when it's high like this, you can see it's resting right here. If we walk down the log here, you can see the inside, and you can see it's resting right there. And you can look down the gap, it ain't resting anywhere else. Maybe a tad bit, probably here. But I really don't think much in there, honestly. That seems pretty flush. You can see this corner didn't quite fit perfect, but I can slide this corner over a little, and that'll fix that. If I slide that over maybe an inch, it'll make the other one match up perfect. And then I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to take a little bit off that thing to even make that little gap there smaller. So you guys are kind of getting an idea probably watching the yeah. And it seems like it's about an inch off. So we're going to need to take off about an inch in that little indent there. And that's kind of a weird log underneath it, so I get it. We'll see where that puts us. Alright. Now that you can see this corner right here needs just a little more off that corner there, which is fine. Or I could take some off the edge of this log, which might even be a better. Alright. Yeah, definitely take a little bit off that. Might even be able to stick my, well, if I stick my saw blade in there, I'll probably get it jammed. See how that fits. It's kind of a weird cut there, but we'll see how it fits now. Oh yeah, that's much better. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. What's that resting on now? A little piece in the middle here. So I'll probably cut that out a little bit because that'll get it even better. But yeah, that definitely made the gap much smaller. Did some work there. But it's resting on a middle notch here. But we might be able to slide this end out, which we're going to need to do anyway. We'll see how that looks. Or if it's still resting on that middle notch there. And I think it still is. So what I'm talking about here, guys, is there's a little knot in the log, just a little bump there that it's resting on. So this is why you kind of got to custom. That's going to be good now. Yep. Corner here. Good. Pretty good gap there, not bad. It's kind of sitting on that little bump in there now, so it's kind of annoying. Yeah, but I like that cut there. I like that. I like the way that's set. Got a nice small gap. I will say that much about this right here. Got a good gap. It's about perfect. The problem is I've got to take out a little, and I should have done this the first time, but I've got to take out that little nut there that it's resting on now, and then it should be about perfect. But this is why I don't custom cut the, I don't cut the corners first, guys, because they're never going to fit perfect until you get it really. They're not going to fit perfect until you get it. It's just easier to custom cut it, and all the logs are different widths. And like them wood carving people at the fair with the chainsaw, make the chainsaw sculptures. Some of my viewers may have seen that, but that's kind of how it feels when you're doing this kind of a project. Yeah. Well, see how that feels. Not bad. I think I'm gonna go with it. So anyway, that's how you custom cut your corners with the chainsaw. When I'm done with the cabin, I'm gonna add concrete chinking in here. So that's gonna help a lot. Might put some wood shims, whatever, to fill these gaps. You can see the gap is very narrow between the logs. I would say less than a 1/4 inch, probably, 1/2 inch maybe. You ready for your treat? See it? See it? See it? Nice catch. Nice catch. We'll give you one more for the show. One more, boy. See it? Nice. Very nice. Good boy. Good boy.